I know I said this last week, but I really cannot get enough of that opening song of JoJo Part 4. This new song. Just this new opening visuals. Kira blowing up the opening. I just can't get enough of it. I've been listening to it all week long. No joke. Like, when I'm sitting there playing Final Fantasy, when I'm sitting there doing other games, or I'm just chilling reading some manga, I've been blasting that song all week long. It's so good. It's such a good song. It's just that click sound. That click sound when you hear Kira blow up the opening at the beginning of it and at the end of it. It's fantastic. So I cannot get enough of that opening song. Am I the only one that's been feeling like that opening song is just too fucking good? Please let me know in the comments below. Man, I gotta say, this is probably one of my favorite episodes of JoJo Part 4. Kira and Josuke going at it, seeing how similar they are and / different, makes for a very enjoyable battle. I mean, just to see how Josuke is a perfect counter to Kira, and how Kira is pretty much like a counter to Josuke, it's really cool. When you see how these two stand users, their abilities are like yin and yang. They go against each other, and they are complete opposites. You have it to where Kira, he's someone that completely destroys things. He obliterates it to where there's nothing left. Or you have it to where Josuke, he can pretty much bring anything back, but he can't bring back the dead. He can't, make someone live once again. And so these two stand abilities, they counter each other the way they are used. And Kira figures this out. He's like, your stand is very annoying. I don't really need to worry about Jotaro. Yes, he has a strong stand, but your stand is more troublesome because of what you can do. You can fix things that I blow up, like what he did with Hayato in this episode. So that's what I want to talk about first thing. So, Josuke, he sees how powerful his ability could be when it's going up against Kira, but Kira also sees this. Hayato, he does some really quick thinking, and he goes to touch Okuyasu, and the bomb explodes, and it blows up Hayato. Hayato completely becomes obliterated, like he just crumbles. And in that quick fraction of a second, like it's so quick, Josuke fixes Hayato completely up, and he manages to save him before he dies. And that crumbling scene was probably the best scene of the episode. I mean, there's a lot of scenes of this episode I love, but that was probably one of the best scenes of this episode, just to see Hayato just crumble away. You just see this man breaking apart, but then Josuke, he fixes him up, and you just see how he's completely fine, and he's back together. That boy has some balls of steel. Like, I just gonna say right now, Hayato as a character, holy shit, this boy, there's just no way he's a grade schooler. Like Josuke said in this episode, there is no way this boy is a grade schooler with how intelligent he is, how much balls he has to be able to go up against someone like Kira, and he doesn't even have a stand. I mean, how can this kid be just so strong when he doesn't even have a stand? And that's what makes this so entertaining. It's not just Josuke going in and kicking some ass either and trying to fight against Kira, but it's also Hayato really making these scenes so much better. Just seeing this boy that's overcoming these impossible odds, this boy that has no stand ability, being able to stand up to a psychopath, a serial killer, that's just really fucking awesome. And when you see how this episode just displays that to us, it really gets you into it. You feel this tension in the back of your head, and you're like, holy crap, what's gonna happen next? And I mean, Okuyasu as well. I mean, Okuyasu, he got a whole, just obliterate. He just got fucked up. And that was kind of the tension of this episode. One of the big points of tension was that Josuke could not get over there to touch Okuyasu. If he was, he would die right then and there. His body would explode, and that would be GG. As we know, Josuke can't heal himself with his stand ability. He cannot fix himself up. If he gets his arm completely cut off, it's not getting fixed. That's GG to his arm, unless there's another stand person that could probably heal him or reattach it or something, or if you can go to a doctor real quick and get it fixed up and reattach, it's not going to happen. So, whatever damage Josuke has, or what he receives, that is permanent, or he can't get rid of it for a good long while. And so, his stand ability does not make him OP, which is one of the big things I like about Josuke's character. I've said it since the very beginning when his stand was introduced, that makes him to where he's borderline broken, but not so broken to where he pretty much eliminates all threat. Because we gotta remember, if someone can kill someone instantly, Josuke can't heal them. And I mean, even though Hayato got healed, it was quick enough. Josuke was there, and he was quick to think enough to be able to fix Hayato. And if he would have waited maybe like 3 seconds later, 3 to 5 seconds, that would have been GG for Hayato. Maybe even a second or two later, Hayato would have been dead. So, thanks to Josuke being very quick is how Hayato was able to live in the first place. But we also gotta remember, if someone gets killed, like someone's shot by a sniper or something really far off in the distance, and they're just dead as hell, and they just drop dead, Josuke can't fix that. He can't bring back the dead. So it makes his stand balanced. And Kira, he's at a good level of balance as well, with that way he can blow things up, the way he can use his bombs and stuff, and the way he uses these tactics to really overcome some of his stand's weaknesses. I mean, using the air bubble, just using that bubble, this air bullet, just to make it explode, that's very smart. That is really, really smart to do, and how he was calculating how he could blow Josuke's head up, and how he was like, ooh, okay, 8 meters, 7 meters, 6 meters, and he's just getting closer and closer until it blew up. I mean, I love how Kira uses his mind to overcome these different challenges, and it really adds for an entertaining battle, because I do like my bronze. Don't get me wrong, I love seeing characters go in, beating the fucking shit out of each other. That's pretty awesome, okay? Don't get me wrong, but I really love the fights that have beating up, but also fights that are intelligent, stuff that makes you think, or something that makes it to where the characters are overcoming each other thanks to their mind instead of just bronze. And seeing Kira trying to overcome Josuke, and Josuke trying to do some quick thinking as well, it makes for a great matchup. It makes for something that's really entertaining, and it's not the standard fight we would normally be used to if you were to watch a traditional shonen. So JoJo's Bizarre Adventure doing a very good job with this fight with Kira, and all this build-up that it's been getting. So, besides all of that, let's talk about Okuyasu for a second, okay? So, Okuyasu, he took a hit. As I said earlier on this video, he had a big chunk out of him taken out thanks to Kira, and the way it's looking right now, it looks like Okuyasu is dead. And if he is, I'm sad. But at the same time, I feel like it really, really makes me upset with the design of Okuyasu's character. Now, hear me out, okay? I love Okuyasu. He's a good character so far. I mean, I love his personality and stuff, but one of his biggest weaknesses is his personality, or just how unintelligent he is, how he doesn't use the hand to its proper usage. I've talked about this already in the past. He has such a ridiculous stand ability that could really solve a hell of a lot of problems if he used it correctly. And for him to have probably one of the most OP stands in this part, like, I'm not even joking, it could kick some major ass. For him to, if he is dead, to die like that, I feel like it's kind of wasted potential. I do, because his character is so cool, and he can have such a great, you know, I guess personality, along with development. I mean, if he got some really good development where he used to stand, he'd be a great character. And I mean, if he is dead, since, you know, I'm an anime only, I don't have any idea. If he is dead, I feel like that's a, you know, waste of potential, unless it's used to kind of evolve Josuke, for instance, allow him to develop. Now, that's usually what character deaths are used for. I mean, usually when it comes to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, if there is a character death, it's usually used to either progress the plot or develop our characters. And usually JoJo does a really good job with character deaths. I mean, let's look at Part 3, let's look at Part 2, let's look at Part 1. I mean, there's a lot of deaths that happen in JoJo. It's not something we're not used to. I mean, we've seen deaths to really good characters, main characters of the series that die. It's something that happens in every single part. And so if Okuyasu's dead, it's to be expected, but at the same time though, hopefully Okuyasu's death has some really good meaning if he is dead. Hopefully it has something to really boost Josuke to where he can grow stronger and finally stand up and fight Kira. I'd like to see something like that, unless Okuyasu is alive. So we'll see where that goes eventually, next week's episode. So, besides all of that, I do say, however, that this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4 was pretty freaking entertaining. I had a lot of fun with it, watching it. Hayato, once again, just continues to surpass my expectations with how good he is as a character with no abilities. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And I mean, how do you feel about everything that happened in this episode? And yes, I do need to mention one more thing before I do end this video. Shotaro, you disappointed me, my boy. You disappointed me. You're like my second favorite JoJo, okay? I love Joseph, but I know Joseph's probably too old. He's probably not going to have any more moments in the series. So I'm just going to say Jotaro is probably my favorite JoJo now. That's alive. And Jotaro, you extremely disappointed me in this episode. Like, yo, what the fuck? Like, this man, it's raining, and you hear Josuke screaming. He's like, Kira! And he's just screaming and shit. And Jotaro's like, huh? What's that? Oh, it sounded like the rain was screaming. It was Josuke screaming, and like the rain sounded like that. I'm like, are you fucking serious? Yo, Jotaro, what the fuck, my boy? Like, Jotaro, my boy, you need to go check out your hearing. I think that old age is getting to you. Like, Jesus, like, why? Anyways, you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.